There's a lot of trash talk at the top, Obama, Hillary, McCain, about what to do in the Middle East. Unfortunately, it reflects shoddy leadership at every level. The usually uninformed American citizens can be forgiven for being mystified by the Mideast policy prescriptions of their leaders. President Barack Obama promises to stop genocide in Iraq and not to do stupid shit, meaning virtually anything that might actually stop the genocide. Hillary Clinton rightly proclaims that avoiding stupid shit does not a strategy make, though she, too, vigorously opposes stupid shit. And television's favorite administration critics, Republican Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham, continue their heartfelt advocacy of stupid shit, that is more bombs dropped on the bad guys and more arms supplied to the good guys, without any thought whatsoever of what they do next in the likely event that this hardly decisive intervention failed. Please convince me that the lunatic jihadis who now infest Syria and Iraq are not the only ones who know what they're doing. You have to hand it to the jihadis. So far as I can tell, there are only about 327 of them, riding in circles around the mountains to make it look like they have 2 million men under arms. Just like in the old movies. We hear various estimates of their numbers from intelligence agencies: 11, 305, 15,001, 27, 345. I'm kidding, but maybe so is the CIA. In any event, their totals don't begin to match the many hundreds of thousands of troops and security forces maintained by the Syrian and Iraqi governments. And jihadi arms don't begin, not hardly, to rival the billions upon billions of dollars worth of arms the US supplied to Iraq. By the way, whatever happened to those arms? To be sure, the jihadis are now riding around in US tanks and armored vehicles captured from the greatly superior Iraqi forces at the Battle of Mosul. But maybe the jihadis are winning because they are better trained? You must be kidding me. Most of them never fired a gun until they showed up in Syria from the unemployment lines of Europe and America. And don't forget, the jihadis don't really have an air force, which might be another advantage. Only kidding, again. No wonder none of America's or the West's best-trained intelligence officers predicted that the jihadis would conquer huge chunks of Syria and Iraq, seizing oil wells and dams. Who could have guessed the jihadis would be approaching Baghdad and Erbil, Kurdistan's capital, pumping Iraqi oil and selling it to a NATO ally Turkey, and pumping Syrian oil and selling it to their bitter enemy President Bashar al-Assad? Of course, the answer is that our guys, the supposed good rebels in Syria and the democratically elected Shiite government of Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, are disunited. They are like the Republicans and Democrats in the US Congress. Maybe you have to be united in order to fight hard. The jihadis are and we're not. Funny, Mideast experts are always highlighting the divisions among the Islamists. Perhaps their strength derives from their belief that Allah is on their side, while our good guys are seen by their soldiers as just a bunch of crooks. You would think, however, that the Allah deficit might be overcome by our good guys fearing the jihadis will lop off their heads and steal their women. If one is being honest about the situation, however, it's nearly impossible to figure out exactly why the jihadis are winning.